Karen broke into my ranch to inspect. I arrested her under federal veteran property statutes. Have you ever wondered what happens when someone's entitlement collides with the law on a veteran's hard-earned land? The sun was dipping low over the Wyoming horizon, painting the rolling hills of my ranch in hues of amber and gold. I'd bought this 200-acre spread with every penny of my VA benefits, a sanctuary earned through years of service in Iraq. It was my haven, my proof that sacrifice could bloom into something beautiful. But that evening, as I sipped coffee on my porch, a white SUV roared up my gravel drive, kicking up dust like a storm. Karen Mitchell, the self-appointed queen of the local HOA, stepped out, clipboard in hand, her lips pursed like she owned the place. She claimed she was here to inspect my property for violations, citing some vague HOA rule about fence heights. My blood boiled. This was my land, not her personal fiefdom, and she hadn't even knocked. Karen's audacity wasn't new. She'd been hounding me for months, complaints about my barn's paint color, my truck's parking angle, even the way my horses grazed too close to the road. But this, marching onto my property uninvited, peering into my barn, and snapping photos like she was a federal agent, this was war. I grabbed my phone, dialed 911, and reported a trespasser. As I watched her poke around my tractor, oblivious to the storm brewing, I felt a fire ignite. Nobody walks onto a veteran's land and treats it like their playground. The truth unfolded like a slow-burning fuse. Karen wasn't just a nosy neighbor, she was a power-hungry HOA president who'd bullied half the county into submission. My ranch, deeded to me under federal veteran homestead protections, wasn't even under her jurisdiction. The VA had granted me this land through a program for disabled veterans, and it came with federal statutes shielding it from local overreach. Karen's inspection wasn't just rooty, it was illegal. I'd done my homework after her first complaint, consulting a lawyer friend who specialized in veteran property rights. He'd warned me about people like Karen who think their petty rules trump federal law. As I waited for the sheriff, I pulled up the statute on my phone, 18 U.S.C. Section 1361, protecting federal property from unauthorized interference. My land, tied to VA benefits, qualified. But here's the twist, Karen wasn't alone. As I stepped outside to confront her, another car pulled UPA's sleek black sedan. Out stepped Tom, a local real estate developer with a reputation for sniffing out undervalued properties. He flashed a smile, claiming he was just passing by to discuss a business opportunity. My gut churned. I'd heard rumors of Tom cozying up to HOA boards to pressure landowners into selling cheap. Suddenly, Karen's inspection felt less like a random power trip and more like a coordinated shakedown. Were they working together to scare me off my land? My lawyer had mentioned cases where developers used HOA complaints to devalue properties, but I never thought it had happened to me. The confrontation hit like a thunderclap. The sheriff's cruiser rolled up, lights flashing, and Deputy Ramirez, a no-nonsense guy I'd met at the VFW, stepped out. Karen spun around, her face a mask of indignation. "This is an HOA matter," she snapped, waving her clipboard like a royal scepter. "I have every right to be here." I held up my phone, showing Ramirez the federal statute and my VA deed. His eyes narrowed as he read, then flicked to Karen. "Ma'am, this land is under federal protection. You're trespassing on a veteran's property, and that's a federal offense." Karen's jaw dropped, but she doubled down, insisting her HOA bylaws gave her authority. Tom, meanwhile, started backing toward his car, mumbling about a misunderstanding. I wasn't letting them slink away. "Check her phone," I said, pointing at Karen. "She's been taking pictures of my property without permission." Ramirez asked to see her phone, and Karen's face went pale. She stammered, refusing to hand it over, but Ramirez wasn't playing. He confiscated it, revealing dozens of photos of my barn, my fences, even my horses. Worse, there were texts to Tom discussing leverage to convince me to sell. The evidence was damning. Ramirez cuffed Karen right there, reading her rights as she sputtered about knowing the mayor. Tom tried to bolt, but Ramirez called for backup and another deputy nabbed him for questioning. Karen's empire crumbled in real time. The sheriff's office dug deeper, uncovering a pattern of HOA abuses across the county. Karen had been fining residents for made-up violations, using the money to fund her own projects while feeding leads to Tom's development firm. My case wasn't isolated. 3 other veterans in the area came forward with similar stories of harassment. The feds got involved, citing violations of the Veterans Memorial Preservation and Recognition Act and other statutes protecting VA-funded properties. Karen faced charges of trespassing, harassment, and conspiracy to defraud. Her trial was a spectacle. Her defense claimed she was just doing her job, but the jury wasn't buying it. She was convicted, fined heavily, and sentenced to community service, her HOA presidency stripped away. Tom, implicated in the scheme, settled out of court, paying restitution to multiple victims, including me. The fallout was poetic justice. The HOA was dissolved after an audit revealed misappropriated funds, and the county passed new oversight laws to prevent future abuses. My ranch? Its thriving new fences, a fresh coat of paint on the barn, and a sign at the gate that reads, "Protected by federal law." I even started a local veterans group to help others navigate property rights, turning my anger into action. Karen's still around, but she keeps her head down now, her days of terrorizing neighbors over. Tom's business took a hit, his reputation tarnished by the scandal. Every now and then I catch Karen's SUV driving by, but she doesn't stop. She knows better. This wasn't just about my land, it was about standing up to bullies who think they're untouchable. It's about the pride of a veteran defending what's rightfully theirs, earned through blood and sweat. My ranch stands as a testament to resilience, a reminder that no one, not even a Karen, can trample on what's yours without consequences. So, what do you think? Who's in the right when entitlement meets justice? Share your thoughts below, because this fight belongs to anyone who's ever had to stand their ground.